thing that I found out very interesting while I was looking over the vocabulary. This is mainly for some people that Scott should know, so I'm not. But I was looking up watashi. Like in here, the book talks about watashi wa. Well, there's different ways of saying it in Japanese. For girls, for guys. Yeah, so watashi wa, again, is the regular, or watashi. So watashi is the basic regular for everybody, for guys and girls. So then you have, so guys are very, very special.
Oh, of course they are.
They have 3, including the watashi. They have boku, and watashi would be more like what you would use for a teacher, for something in a formal situation. Boku would probably be something that you use for a senpai, somebody higher than you, or sanbe, which is Korean. So somebody higher than you, you could use boku or watashi, and then something this is semi-informal. And then the very, very informal is ore. Ore. So you'd be like, watashi wa, boku wa, ore wa. Okay, this is for guys. Okay, for girls, there's also something for girls. Girls only have 1. 2 including watashi. And that is atashi. So you have watashi, atashi. So girls, atashi. Guys, boku, ore. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And sometimes, and this is formal. For girls, you could go up to a teacher and say, atashi wa blah, 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 blah. But you can definitely do that. That's perfectly fine. Guys, you can't do that here. You have to say watashi. Sticking out my tongue.
Really, I think the camera got that.
Cool. Alright, obviously Scott may or may not come, and that was just a random thing that I recorded, and Scott still hasn't responded back. So, I have a small, actually it's not really too small, but you'll have like 10 minutes. It's on the first and second chapter of vocabulary. If y'all studied it before. Now, I have had, yes.
Can you use wood?
No. Now, I have had some concerns saying that we shouldn't have a quiz on chapter 2 over this. Personally, I believe that you should know the vocabulary before we go over the chapter, because I'm going to be using the vocabulary in the chapter. Do y'all think that we should be using the vocabulary? I can teach the vocabulary on Mondays if you want to go over that. If y'all actually want me to go over vocabulary, because Mondays for you guys. Mondays I have so do y'all still, like next week, if we're on chapter 2, if we go over chapter 3, you would need to know the vocabulary ahead of time for chapter 3, which would mean that there would be a quiz on chapter 3. Or do you all just want to go over chapter 3 and then have a quiz on the vocabulary? Because personally, I think you need to know the vocabulary before you do the chapter.
Yes, when we're in class, we do the vocabulary as we're in the chapter.
But it takes a while. So you want me to go over the vocabulary?
Then you got to go over all the vocabulary, just the main ones you're going to be using while we're in that chapter.
So what do y'all want? Do you want me? Something? What do y'all want? Well, I'm not 100% teacher. This is like a study group, so it's also. Do you want me to go over the vocabulary on Mondays? go over, like, I mean, it would just take like 15 minutes, but go over the vocabulary on Mondays and then have the test that Tuesday when we have class?
Sure.
So this requires me to be here for 2 days, both Mondays and Tuesdays.
Not really on Monday. Monday I can record and post going over vocabulary, but it's not like crazy. It would take like 15 minutes to go over vocabulary. If that makes sense. But you don't have to be here on Mondays. Because Mondays is just people that need help, is what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm going to hand out this. Because we've decided to go over the vocabulary, don't worry about this page. Second page. Okay? Y'all can do the second page if you want to. Actually, I would like you to try and do the second page. But you write the vocabulary underneath the word. So this is from chapter 1, is this.
Is that an open book test or we have to memorize?
Supposedly you're supposed to memorize, but we can use open book in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes open book. In 10 minutes.
So just 10 minutes.
Briefly go over the vocabulary, and some of them will be from here, like little notes that I took on it. But you have ano, looking on page 12, you have ano, which means Here's the difference. You ready? This is on page 12 for me. I don't know about for you guys. But ano means, okay, so if you're going to say something, that's what ano means, if you're going to say something. So if you go, it means that you're going to say something afterwards, is what I meant to say. So if you go,
Like you're trying to think of what you're going to say.
kind of. But it also, like, if somebody's talking, right? So, Kyle and, can't believe Julie.
Seriously?
Wow. No, I remember his name, but it's just, my mind went, because my mind was on them. And then, but just start talking about whatever you want to talk about. Just start.
Did you get that in your brain? No, I did not.
Like that. It means.
Julian.
What it means, whenever I say ano, it means, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. So if two people are talking, you would say ano. Ano. So you're trying to get their attention. It means excuse me, but you don't want to interrupt them. You also have ima, which means now. Ima. You have ego, which is the English language. Actually, I'll go over that in a second. You have which means yes. You have hai, and you have Hai is very, very formal. Okay? So, again, I'm going to erase this with this horrible eraser, which I probably should get my own. You have hai, which is formal. And you have which is informal. So if I'm talking to my friend, I could say But if I'm talking to like my teacher or Korean teacher or something like that, I would say hai. Hai. Gakusei meaning student. It can be high school, middle school, whatever. Go meaning language. Gakusei meaning student, go meaning language. Now what you're going to do here, with whatever goal you use, like let's say that you're going to go with Japanese, okay? And I'm going to be writing in in Romaji until we get to chapter 3. Then I'm going to go all hiragana, all katakana. So you've got to know all your hiragana and all your katakana by the beginning of chapter 3. So you go Nihon, meaning Japan, right? You go Nihon go, you add the go at the end, and it means the Japanese language. Or think of a country. Okay, Germany. So you have actually I don't even. It's easier. Deutsch, meaning Germany. You gotta go Deutsch go. But the difference is, as always in every language, you have exceptions. English. American is what? Meaning, for it to be in America, you say blank jin des. America-jin. So how would you say, I speak English? How would you? Ego. Yeah. Ego. Yeah. Ego o hanasu or ego o hanashimasu. But yeah, so you say ego, right? You would say America-jin, ego. That's the same in English. You say, I'm American. You don't say, I speak American. So, same with Japanese. You have koko, which is high school. You can also say kokosei, which I think we'll go over in a second. But it would be a high school student. You have gogo, PM, gozen, AM, talking about time. Sai, meaning you're however many years old. So you would do ichi-sai, ni-sai. Yeah, wow, it's hard writing here. You'd say ichi-sai, ni-sai, something like that. So you would have the sai at the end. Same with, you have you have san, Mr., Mrs., but you also have kun and chan. Kun meaning boy, or you're really, really good friends with somebody. Chan meaning girl, you're really, really good friends with that girl. Ji, same with time. Ichichi, nichi, whatever. Jin, people. Jin, people. Same with Nihon Jin. Instead of putting go, you would say Nihon Jin, Doitsu Jin, America Jin. So that. Then you have sensei, meaning professor or teacher. As I said, if I say watashi wa sensei desu, I'm going, hey, look at me. I'm amazing and I'm wonderful. Bright shining lights coming on me, you see. So, to be humble, you would say kyoshi. Watashi wa kyoshi desu. Rather than watashi wa sensei desu. I just thought that was very, very interesting. You also have major, which is senmon or cinco. Senmon means speciality, cinco means major. So it's a little bit different. You also have soldes. See, this is going to take forever to go over all of these.
You got to go through all of them, I said.
So which ones do you want me to go over?
The major one.
I don't know which one's the major ones.
Well, when you're going through the chapters.
Listen, you're supposed to go through the chapter first. Like, you're supposed to do that. And after that, you're supposed to come back with us about all the majors.
But you use almost all of the words. They use almost all the words in the chapter.
Yeah, but you gotta think some of the like countries and majors, they transfer over into chapter 2. I mean, you don't go into all of those. Just like, you know,
Whatever we
pick
plan
out a
on
few
doing in
from
that
those
chapter,
and
those
go
words
into
we
the
should be
next
going
chapter.
over.
Okay.
So if we're moving into chapter 2, because you went over chapter 1 last week.
Almost all of chapter 2, yeah. We're going almost all. We have one more point in chapter 1, which is the no. Noun, no noun.
Alright, well then, when you move to the next chapter, those are the words we need to go through.
Okay.
Not all of them, but just the main ones that's going to be going through in the chapter.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Kind of, yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't mean you had to go through every single word.
Okay. One other thing. You ready? So, I don't know if you have a lot of majors. Togaku, science, Asia Kenkyu, Asian studies, Kezai, economics, Kokosai Kanke, international relations, computer, anthropology, Jinrui-gaku. I remember anthropology, and I taught you this. You remember? What was it?
It was the Jin, which was person,
Mm-hmm.
Rui, which is like a ruin,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Gaku was
Study. Yeah. Study of whatever. Jinrui-gaku. Yep. Do you remember what I read for literature?
literature, no, but I remember what you said for the lawyer.
What was the lawyer?
Bengoshi.
Bengoshi. Ben's going because he's a lawyer. Ben. Anyway, for literature, I remember bungaku, like a book, bungaku. So, you have shigoto, isha, kaishain, which is job, doctor, office worker, kokosei, high school student, shufu, housewife, and then you have daigaku, daigakuin, whatnot. So, does that help kind of vocabulary-wise? Good?
Let me help you with the office worker thing.
Mm-hmm. Kaishain?
When you say office worker, what kind of job can you think of?
I just remember shining shoes.
No, it's not. Office worker in this country is like a secretary and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's how I remember a kaishain.
Yeah, it's more like a salaryman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A person who works for the company, so it can be a very high ranking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not office worker here. Office worker is not a very good translation.
Okay.
Company man, that is more like it. Company worker. People who belong to company, but they can be in a high ranking.
Kind of, but mainly that would be more like, what's it called?
Salaryman.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Gotcha.
But that's also in Japanese it's called that's the exact same. Sara.
Salaryman.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and I can even ask my old Japanese teachers, but I think kaishain is more of a office work, somebody that works in the office, while salaryman is somebody that can actually go up. I mean, I may be wrong, but that's how I think.
In Korea and Japan use the same Chinese character.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means. A person who works for the company who gets salary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a person who does just typing, it's not office worker.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so I will write that, correct it. If you look, I'm going to go to the last one on page 16 of this book. It's number 3, is noun, no noun. Because we've gone over all of these. So now we're on noun, no noun. Juroku.
Yours is different.
Juroku page. So noun, no noun. Does anybody know what it does or have an idea of what it does? That's one. Good. It's possessive. It also does what? That's one. Possessive. There's 2 things it does. One, it's possessive, and 2, think about it.
Compound noun.
Could, yeah, kind of. Noun, no, noun. What is this? What is that? It connects what? Two nouns together. So, yeah, kind of like a, so, if I say like, Tozai, Daigaku, I don't know if it'll get on the camera, but if I say, no, gakusei. So, Tozai Daigaku no gakusei. What am I saying there?
University student.
Of Tozai University's student. A student of Tozai University. So, it goes, now one important thing is, look at this. This is a name of a place. Okay? Tozai. Tozai Daigaku is the name of is a university. This is a student. Notice it goes from non-specific, big place, small university, to a person. So it goes from non-specific to specific. So you could have like Alabama, no, Birmingham. You could also do this. No. Two. No. Daigaku. No. There. Big place. Small city. Even smaller university. Little person. See, goes from big to small. Make sense? Ish? Okay. So another thing that it does, and what Julian said was, it takes the place of what? Possessive article. So I could say, I'm not going to throw that one away because this board's horrible, but I'm going to write in a blue. Takeshi no denwa banko. What is this?
Phone number.
Exactly. Takeshi's phone number. Good. So it's showing possession. Or I could say Takeshi no. What am I saying?
Takeshi's mom.
Exactly. Okasan. Mom. So Takeshi's number, Takeshi's mom. Okay? So the main idea always comes at the end. Always comes at the end. Oh wow. Wow, that's kind of interesting. I could finish this up. Yay. I didn't even know that. Takeshi no okasan wa. Wa or ha. Koko no sensei desu. Koko no sensei desu. What does this say? Yep, Takeshi's mother is a high school teacher. Koko. San. Where? No.
She's
I'm friends with Takeshi, so I can just call him Takeshi. So, does that kind of make sense? Okay. What I want y'all to do Oh, sad day. Okay, so does that kind of make sense? The no. Okay. One other thing that I was looking at was same with this no here. When you give telephone numbers, like for example, and because I'm recording, I'm not going to give my telephone number.
Aww.
Because I would get calls out the wazoo. But, for example, if I were to say,
Use the song. 8675309.
Okay.
So there you go.
It's not a real number.
75309.
675. Okay, so let's put a dash here and here. You would say no. What? You want me to put a dash here?
Yeah, we're supposed to get.
Fine.
867 dash 5309.
What? Incredible. Okay. So this would be. What would this be?
Hachi.
Good. Hachi.
Roku.
Roku.
Nana.
Nana.
No.
Good. Nana. No.
Go.
Go.
San.
San.
0. Q.
0 Q. So notice here, put a no. So whenever you're going over telephone numbers, you put a no. So here's what I promise you I will turn it off. Okay? If you look on page 23 of this book, page 23 of this book, where it says, what would it be? Actually, where it says, no, just do that. Group C, group work. It says, use the dialogue above and ask 3 classmates their telephone numbers. Okay? What I want you to do is I want you to stand up and say, Kyle-kun no denwa bango wa nan desu ka? Don't tell me, it's recording. But whatever, and tell your number. I'm going to turn this off. So if you actually want to say your telephone number, then you can. When is good?
When is good?
Yeah, it's been an hour. But I said when is good. We can end it now if you want to end it now.
I just want to know.
6:30ish.
6:30.
Is that okay? Do your brains hurt now?
Brain's not hurt, but what do you call it here?
Hungry.
Onaka
Onaka ga sukimashita, onaka ga suita.
But I can handle it.
Where are you taking us, Sensei? Where are you taking us for dinner, Sensei?
Do y'all want to go out to eat?
Shoot, I'm still full from lunch.
I am too.
I brought you sushi home.
Yeah, that was like, what, 6 pieces of sushi?
No? Be happy I
All right.
wanted some. I could have eaten it all.
Great.
Okay, so the words that point we're going to learn here. I'm going to go over them in the grammar, so I'm actually not going to go over them now. Like, oh, sorry, page 32 on this book. And I guess it would be, what page is that book over there in chapter 2, Scott?
I'm waiting for them to turn to make sure I'm in the right place. Is it type H? Is it type
60.
H?
I got 32.
Yeah, it's 32.
32.
Rokuju.
Okay, so page 60, Rokuju page. Alright, so the words that point, I'm going to go over them. in the grammar. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. But you have food. You have like oishi, which is delicious, good. Sakana, which is fish. Tonkatsu, which is a pork cutlet. Those are wonderful. Over rice. Yeah. Japan, they're very, very famous. Tonkatsu. You have niku, meat, menu, yasai, vegetable. And then you have, like, in the classroom, you might have a inpitsu, which is a pencil. You might have a kasa, which is an umbrella, if it's raining. Kabong, which is a backpack, or a bag. Jisho, which is a dictionary. Shimbun, which is a newspaper. Teipu, which is tape. As funny as that sounds, tape. Toke, which is watch. Noto, which is notebook. Pen, which is pen.
Where do you see tape on this list?
It's not on ours.
Well, it's on mine.
Okay. I'm looking at it and going, I don't see.
They
Sorry.
did some massive editing between these two editions.
Yes.
I've never seen so many.
Really? Is it like really crazy?
Well, yeah, because he was looking on the computer. Scott and I have the same book, and Sunday we're going over the homework, and we're doing it in the book, and he was saying something totally different, and Scott and I were like, what?
And then Ayaka-chan went and looked around the computer and said, yeah, he's right.
Noto, which is notebook. Pen, which is pen. And hon, which is book. Okay? And then places would be like oterai, kisaten, ginko, toshokan, yubinkyoku.
What was that first one you said?
Oterai,
What is that?
restroom.
We got Cody.
There's both. Oterai is more like somewhere where you wash your hands. It's a restroom, but you wash your hands. And then toire is where you actually use the restroom. Yeah.
Sit or squat.
Yep.
Well, they've got it for toilet and restroom in our book.
Well, oterai is more washing of hands. Like you would be like, oterai wa doko desu ka? Where do you wash your hands?
I think all that.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. E-A. See, I get messed up writing it in oterai. Toire? Yeah. Oops. Tell me if I'm right.
Katakana, not kanji. Toire.
Right?
Bari, usually not.
Toire. Toire. Okay. Same Kezai economics. Rekishi history. Ikura, how much. Takai, meaning it's something that's very expensive. Okay, expressions, which we'll probably go over here later. But you have irashaimase, which means welcome. You have onegaishimasu, which is like please. So if you walk into a store, you say irashaimase. Okay. I got 2 stories for you guys. You ready? I think I've told you all this before. But I had a friend visit me from Japan. And so I was like, watch this. Like, so I open up the door to a restaurant, and they go, irashaimase, you know, and then we all walk in, and then I leave the restaurant, open up the door, irashaimase, and I leave, open up the door, irashaimase. So they were always bowing and saying irashaimase.
You're so mean.
I am very mean. But as a thank you for hosting him, the guy took me to a very, very expensive restaurant. And they had Japanese lining here as you entered, and they would bow. Irashaimasen. So you'd walk, and as you're walking, they would bow. You feel like a king. It's a very expensive restaurant. He, of course, doesn't know what irashaimasen means, so he thinks that they're saying, you know, hello or something like that. So he's walking, and he gets to the middle. He's like, wait a minute, they're saying hello or, you know, whatever. So he goes, you don't touch Japanese, so technically you're not supposed to give a handshake. But he goes, irashaimasen, irashaimasen, irashaimasen. He's like, oh, wait a minute. These people are feeling left out. So he starts at the very, very beginning. He goes, irashaimasen, irashaimasen. So he's telling everybody, welcome, welcome, and he's shaking their hand, and you're not supposed to touch Japanese. They were laughing. The people in line were like, trying not to laugh, and I was trying not to laugh too. But it was, I just let him go through the whole line without correcting him.
Did you laugh at him later?
Yeah, I told him afterwards. So, that means welcome. Onegaishimasu is please. Kudasai means please give me. So, ja means then, or if that's the case, or whatever. So if there's like, sometimes if there's like an awkward silence, I'll sometimes go, ja, and it means like, see ya. Sometimes, if I'm hanging out with people or whatever. Dozo, here it is, or go ahead. It can mean here it is, go ahead. You can go first, I don't know. A whole bunch of different things. And then domo, which is thank you. Okay, so first one. Okay? Ready? Chapter 2 on page 34 for me, right across the way. You have kore, sore, are, dore. We're going to go over all of these. But, so if I say, kore wa nan desu ka? Or something like that, I'm saying, what am I saying? What is this by me? What is it? Kore wa? What is this by me? If I say, sore wa nan desu ka? Yeah. What is that over there? Are wa nan desu ka? Way over there.
Away from both of us.
Away from, yeah, exactly. Away from nobody. So, kore is by me. Sore is over there by you. Are is way over there where we're not, it's not close to any of us. Are, I mean, so, you can also say, are? What? Anyways, okay. So you could have kore wa. So if I were to say, kore wa ikura desu ka? What am I saying?
How much is this?
Hmm?
How much is this?
Yep, good. How much is this? Or, and then if, so this is by me. So if I say this is, how would I say this is 4,000 yen by you, over there? How would I say that? By you.
Sore wa.
Sore wa?
How much did you say again?
4,000. What?
Yonsen.
Yonsen. Yonsen.
En desu?
Yonsen en desu. Good. So.
Put yon en desu.
Oh, whoops. Thank you. Yonsen en desu. Okay? So, sore wa yonsen en desu. This is 4,000 yen. Okay? And then, how would I say, this is my notebook? But it's over, way over there. So if somebody's like,
That is my notebook.
yeah, like if I go, how to say, that's my notebook.
あれは、
あれは、
僕のね。
あれは
私のノートです。
私のノートです。あれは that over there is my notebook.
僕 is also for you. 僕は僕の
As funny as that sounds, we went over that. Like before, we were trying to use up time while we were waiting, and I went over boku, ore, atashi, watashi. And my neck just hurt. But I thought that was funny. You're like, it's for you too. And I was like, we just went over that. It was cool. Okay, so now I think I had this. B. Okay. So if you are looking at, for me, and it might be different for you guys, but if I'm looking at, do y'all understand this? Kore, sore, are. Do y'all understand that?
Dare.
Dare? We'll go over that in a second. So if you look at B, right? I want you to do all of the odd numbers.
Give the page number.
For page 40, B, I want you to do all the odd numbers. So, the example says, 1, 3, 5, 7. So this one says, actually I'm not going to erase it. This says, これはいくらですか? And then the person says, 80 円です or whatever.
I'm not finding that. Look. Oh, there it is. 70. Shut up.
Okay? So, but here's another thing. I'm going to add something. I want you to switch it around. So, y'all are working.
I'm sorry. I missed everything because I was trying to find the page. What were you wanting to do? I'm so sorry.
Just do the odd numbers, but I want you to do them by yourself. I want you to write them by yourself. Because we're going to do C together. So just the odds. But I want you to do kore wa, but yet once you do kore, I want you then to do sore and are. So alternate them.